The commercial plaza where Valentina lost her life has apparently been connected to a string of strange and unsettling events. Well past closing time, with every shop locked up for the night, a security camera mounted inside one of the storefronts recorded something that sent the people reviewing the footage scrambling for answers. The camera is rolling inside the darkened, empty store when what looks like a small child suddenly appears in frame. The fact that this figure is there at all is baffling enough on its own, but what unfolds in the moments that follow is even more difficult to make sense of. The shape darts from one side of the room to the other at a pace that no ordinary person could realistically achieve, and those who've seen it are still debating what exactly was caught on tape that night. On New Year's Eve, most people are bracing for the thunderous crack of fireworks lighting up the sky. But for a woman named Karma, the only thing exploding that night was a storm of raw emotion, insecurity, and doubt running wild. What follows is an unfiltered account pulled straight from the pages of this personal story, and what she discovered in that moment hit her like a punch to the gut. Deep into the late hours, the camera picks up a lizard venturing into the yard. Sliding along the fence line, this pale shape eased its way through the darkness, completely unaware it was being watched. This was private property. Nobody had any business being out there. The eerie stillness of that figure left a feeling that was hard to shake. Daniel had spent several nights feeling deeply unsettled in his apartment. It wasn't simply nerves. It genuinely felt as though someone outside was staring in at him. His unit sat on the second floor, with no balcony, no piping, no ledges, nothing on the exterior that a person could stand on. Then one afternoon, while he was sitting in silence, something finally broke through.
Hey, ¿qué pedo? Mamen, si ven eso. Qué verga. O sea, lo cagado es que estoy en un segundo piso.
See for yourself. A shadow swept across his curtain, unmistakably human in shape, moving like someone strolling past. Shaken, Daniel jumped up and yanked the curtain open. Nobody was there. He later went outside and filmed the area in full daylight, looking for any structure or surface that might produce that kind of shadow. There was nothing. Whatever cast that silhouette across his window had no business being there. Footage from a TikTok creator by the name of Giovanni Lima shows that he and his girlfriend have been living through relentless paranormal events inside their apartment for several months now. It all began with faint shuffling noises in the night and unexplained whistling drifting out of empty rooms. Once the disturbances became an everyday thing, Giovanni started pulling out his camera, and what he managed to record points to something far more sinister than your average ghost.
É a minha voz.
A mimic. You can make out an unsettling whistling sound originating from one of the rooms on the left side of the hallway. He moves toward it to get a better look, and that's when he picks up a male voice. One that sounds disturbingly close to his own, beckoning him to come inside. Keep in mind, the only other person in that apartment is his girlfriend. No other man lives there. Just moments after, the door to that room crashes shut directly in front of him. Things escalated to the point where Giovanni eventually laid down lines of salt and placed lit candles at the front entrance to keep the entity out. It made no difference.
Shoo, acorda. Tá aqui.
Amor?
Vai embora da minha casa agora!
Deixa entrar.
Você não é bem-vindo aqui!
Me deixa entrar. Sou eu.
Vai embora!
Me deixa entrar.
Ele não tá passando. Ele não vai passar. Ele não passa.
Me deixa entrar.
Late one night, the two of them are jolted awake by a commotion at their front door. They go to investigate and find the handle rattling aggressively, as though something is frantically trying to force its way in. But here's where it gets truly horrifying. Pay close attention to what you hear coming from the other side.
Me deixa entrar.
The voice out there is a dead-on imitation of his girlfriend, pleading to be let inside. Except his girlfriend is right beside him, frozen in fear. Whatever is out there has replicated her voice with frightening precision, trying to manipulate them into unlocking the door. Eventually, Giovanni reached his breaking point. On yet another night filled with strange sounds, he makes the decision to swing the door open and face whatever is waiting for him. His girlfriend stays back and keeps the camera rolling. He pulls the door open and turns to look down the left side of the hallway. His face shifts instantly into an expression of absolute shock. Without warning, the door slams closed behind him, trapping him out in the corridor. Heavy pounding then erupts against the door, but Giovanni isn't making a single sound. His girlfriend rushes over to open it, and what she finds on the other side is deeply unsettling. Giovanni is standing completely still, locked in a vacant stare, as if something has switched him off entirely. No movement, no words. She has to cut the recording short just to pull him back indoors and shake him out of whatever state he's in. So, is this all an elaborate series of staged videos? Or are Giovanni and his girlfriend genuinely being hunted by a dangerous mimic that intends to replace them? Maybe what they really needed was, during a calm evening, a mother named Courtney was sitting by herself in the living room when her baby's unoccupied car seat began shaking with no one near it. She quickly grabbed her phone and started filming, hoping whatever caused it would happen again.
Literally nothing here. My baby is sleeping. Don't have a remote. It just did its own thing.
Even the family dog seems unsettled, letting out low growls as though it can sense a presence that isn't visible. Some people watching the footage suggest a vibrating toy might explain the movement, but Courtney insists nothing was attached to the seat, and the shaking was far too forceful for that. The following day, she was in her bedroom folding laundry with a podcast playing in the background when something occurred that genuinely terrified her.
And we drive there 2.5 hours away, and it looked exactly like my vision. And immediately in my heart, like, I cannot explain the feeling in my heart, like, it just felt black, and I'm like, this is a vision. And you guys are like, wow, this sounds like such an amazing story, that is good, that is great, and all the time, but there's more to it. And this is just, wow, looking back, I'm like, God, he just loves me so much, but, so I secured that wedding venue, it's great, everything is still like on the papers, I called Drew, he was like, this is day 4 at this time, and so he couldn't work with me on a test that day, and he was this is my vision, and so fast forward to the wedding day. Fast forward to the wedding day.
The dog fixes its gaze on a completely empty patch of floor, then slowly inches toward it, as though tracking something invisible. Without warning, it suddenly retreats and bolts out of the room entirely. Courtney stands there bewildered, until a baby bottle begins sliding across the floor on its own and comes to rest right at her feet. Overcome with panic, she scoops up her child and flees. Courtney is convinced there's a paranormal force at work, though some believe a guardian angel may simply be keeping watch over her baby. Whatever the explanation turns out to be, there's no denying that something deeply unsettling is going on inside Courtney's home. Here's another clip that made the rounds online, featuring a mother enjoying some time at a park with her young child. At first glance, everything seems perfectly ordinary. The child is playing around with dried leaves on the ground. Then, out of nowhere, the child goes down. Pay close attention to what happens. It's difficult to argue that this doesn't look like the child was shoved by something. Could a random burst of wind really be responsible for that? Does it seem like the child simply lost their balance on their own? Was this a natural tumble? Not even close. Personally, I think children may share a stronger connection with the spirit world, which might be why so many reports of paranormal encounters seem to involve them. In December 2025, a Reddit user going by Mama D1974 uploaded a chilling home video featuring her young granddaughter. The family described an ordinary afternoon, the little girl playing calmly alongside her mother, when everything took a terrifying turn in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, you can do it.
Without a single moment of warning, the child is violently wrenched backward, dragged out of the frame as though something unseen had seized hold of her. Not one other person is visibly making contact with her, yet as she's pulled away, she rotates her head and continues moving towards something lurking just beyond the camera's reach. The video ends abruptly, offering zero answers and no additional footage to explain what happened. Some skeptics argue that an adult standing off-screen simply tugged her clothing or arm to manufacture a viral moment, but the sudden and deeply unnatural movement left her family rattled to their core. So was this an invisible presence dragging a child into the darkness, or nothing more than a carefully staged hoax? Our next clip comes from the account shown on your screen right now. It belongs to a truck driver who films his experiences out on the job and has only posted a handful of videos. On one particular delivery run, he arrived at a brand new house and started hearing unexplained sounds coming from somewhere inside, despite the fact that the place was completely unoccupied. His co-worker brushed it off and didn't believe a word of it, so when he had to go back the following day for another drop-off, he pulled out his phone and hit record. Here's exactly what he caught.
Somewhere, North Carolina, brand new house, just has been built. And I was making a delivery here yesterday, and I kept hearing something upstairs. And I'm the only one here. I was here by myself. But something kept bumping around up here. Sounded like somebody walking across the floor. So today we're going to come check it out. See what it could be. It's kind of odd. As you see, nobody's here. I'm here by myself. Nobody's around. Every single room is empty. Closet. I don't see anything that would have been moved or could move that's up here loose or anything. See, nobody's here. Nobody's hiding anywhere. No, nobody. Nobody. See? Now who the hell's crazy now? Did you hear that thump? See, I'm here by myself. Nobody's here. Just me. What the hell? See, nobody's here. What the hell was that? It's a brand new damn house. Nobody's here. We'll go up there in a minute. Still gotta make sure so everybody doesn't think that I'm crazy. I have somebody here with me. Nobody's here. Just me. Nobody's here. Moves back out to the hall. Nobody's here. Let's see what could be going on. See, nobody's here. There's nothing possible that could be bumping around by itself or thumping. Nobody, nothing. No animals, no nothing. So, strange how a brand new house is already haunted. Now let's see. I just needed proof. But yet again, nobody's here. I'm losing my damn mind.
I'm at this house somewhere in North Carolina. Brand new house, just has been built, and I was making a delivery here yesterday. I kept hearing something upstairs, and I'm the only one here. I was here by myself. Something kept bumping around up here, like somebody walking across the floor. Wanted to come check it out, see what it could be. It's kind of odd. As you see, nobody's here. I'm here by myself. Nobody's around. Every single room is empty, so I don't see anything that would have been moved or could move that's up here loose or anything. See, nobody's here. Nobody's hiding anywhere. Nobody. See? Now who in hell's crazy now? Did you hear that thunk? See, I'm here by myself. Nobody's here. Just me. See? Nobody's here. What the hell was that? It's a brand new damn house. Nobody's here. I'm going to go up here in a minute. Still got to make sure so everybody doesn't think that I'm crazy. I have somebody here with me. Nobody's here. It's just me. Nobody's here. Let me just back out to the hall. Nobody's here. Let's see what could be going on. Nobody's here. There's nothing possible that could be bumping around by itself or something. Nobody? Nothing? No animals? No nothing. Strange how a brand new house is already haunted. Let's see. I just need proof yet again. Nobody's here. Proof. A lot of his viewers started digging into the background of the property, and several people made the point that since the house itself was newly built, whatever was going on could be connected to the land underneath it rather than the structure above. So where do you stand on this one? Is this genuinely something paranormal, or does a rational explanation exist? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. A man by the name of Kasif Kurehu recently uploaded security footage taken from the apartment building where his brother resides. According to the brother, a large number of tenants in the complex believe the place is haunted by the spirits of those who died there. The brother himself, though, is a self-described skeptic who always maintained he'd never encountered anything that hinted at a supernatural presence. That is, until the building's security camera picked up something he simply could not account for. Initially, people watching the footage assumed it was some kind of technical glitch, but there's a young boy in the courtyard who appears to spot the figures and bolts away, clearly frightened by whatever he saw, and that reaction is pretty tough to write off. So what do you think? Are those actually ghosts? Let us know in the comments. It's July 22nd, 2023, and a couple of officers pull up to a residence in Dixon, Illinois, expecting something pretty straightforward. But the man waiting on the other side of that door isn't just some random civilian. His name is Jamin Soria, and for 6 years he'd worn a badge himself, working as a corrections officer at the local prison in that very same town. He understood law enforcement from the inside out, had personally overseen hundreds of arrests, just from the opposite position. He was trained in grappling on top of that, and he was a large man, pushing somewhere around 400 pounds. So whatever's about to unfold here, it isn't unfolding in front of someone who doesn't understand the situation.
Oh, I need you to come on out. Okay, you gotta come on out. No, you gotta, this isn't your house, you need to come on out. Mom doesn't want you here. She does not want you here, no. Okay? So if that's the case, you don't reside here, you need to leave, okay? We're trying to do this peacefully, okay? All right, we're trying to work with you.
So this is your mom's house, not yours, right? Correct. So we don't need a warrant because we have your mom's permission to come in the house.
Okay. Will it bite us? Okay.
No. It doesn't mean it's your house if you have power of attorney. No.
No, it doesn't work that way.
He doesn't have power of attorney? Oh. And your mom said you don't have power of attorney anyways. No.
You prove it.
Prove to me that you do.
You're going to get 3 options, okay? All right, either you can leave, we can give you a ride somewhere, okay? Or we can get you, if you want help, we can get you help. If you need help, okay?
The previous night, he'd shown up at his mother's place, and she'd let him through the door. Then she told him she was heading out and wouldn't be returning. And somewhere in the space between those words, his mind had twisted that into the belief that the house now belonged to him. By the time the officers show up, he's been sitting alone inside for hours, and he's constructed an entire version of reality in which he is the owner, and anyone telling him differently is just flat out lying to him. The officers lay out 3 options: walk out voluntarily, accept a ride, or get some outside help. Soria just stares at them and tells them they're the ones standing in his house, and that what they're doing is very bad karma.
me. Out under arrest. Out. Take his ass. Yeah. Out. Go. Out. Down. Taser. Stay right there. Don't fucking move. Get your hands behind your fucking back. Don't fucking move.
Stop.
Don't fucking move. I got. Put your hands behind your back now. Hey.
His voice never climbs above a conversational level, and strangely, that's the detail that gets under people's skin the most. Steady and unhurried the whole time, like a professor patiently explaining something elementary to a room that simply isn't keeping up. Then, just minutes after insisting this is his mother's house, he pivots and decides the woman standing at the door isn't actually his mother, and he demands she be fingerprinted to settle the matter. He starts citing names and rules that nobody in that room can place. Whatever framework he's operating from, no one else was handed that manual. Then the decision is made to take him into custody, and the taser comes out. The noise he produces when it connects isn't something a person is supposed to make. Deeper, drawn out, wrong in a way that's hard to describe. He goes down, then climbs straight back up, and they deploy it again and again, and every single time it barely registers. And this is the point where the whole thing stops following any recognizable logic, because he starts issuing deals. He informs the officers that he is granting them immunity, not requesting it for himself, granting it to them, as though he sits above the police, the county, the entire state. Everything's wiped clean, he tells them, and you receive full karma for all of it, permanently, flat delivery the entire time, like he's negotiating terms with a party that no one else in the room can perceive.
So, put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Jimmy, put your hands behind your back.
I'm going to take you. You behind your back, I will tase you.
Turn around.
Turn around. Don't do it, man.
Put your hands behind your back. Put your fucking hands behind your back now. I got your taser. Put your arm. Give me your fucking hand. Put your hand behind your back now. Now. You got one? He's locked up.
Put your hands behind your back.
We're even. You pretend you didn't even come, you can come back tomorrow. You give me 1 day.
Nope.
And we're even.
It's not working that way.
We are so far past.
It ain't working that way.
That's past. Okay.
You give me 1 day and it's even karma.
No.
But I need to do please.
Well, there's one here.
To the one fall
the one I tased him with, or this one? Yours?
One up top.
No, yours is still here. Okay.
I wasn't actively resisting.
Dude.
I couldn't move because of the...
Brother. You were actively resisting.
You shoved me and ran.
I was free.
You went on a rage.
You shoved me and ran.
You did like a wrestling rage when you went like this. That's a wrestling thing.
I don't know what
That's a sign of aggression.
Dude.
So now that that's over with, let's get on to the next chapter. Let's stand you up and let's have you sit in the car. And
You
we'll
just
get
told
some
me
water.
Jamie, you just said you're in your right state of mind, right?
I am.
So you understand that we need you in the car, correct?
I do, but I am refusing all medical treatment and I broke no laws.
Okay.
So if you're refusing medical treatment, you're gonna have to see the car.
It doesn't, like, we believe you did. That's why you're under arrest. You're under arrest, though.
And then he says the one thing that nobody who's seen this footage can shake. He tells them plainly that he was not in this body, past tense, as though there had been some window of time when something else entirely had been in control. A moment later, he adds that he may have multiple personalities, and that this particular one would not be all right. Even restrained, he doesn't let up. He uses his build and his training to drag officers down alongside him, locking onto a leg and throwing his full weight into it until the footage ends. But the moment that lingers longest comes right in the middle of the struggle, when one of the officers pauses, looks directly at him, and says quietly that he knows Surya is still in there somewhere. Once the footage spread, people landed in two very different places. Some see a man mid-breakdown, and nothing beyond that. Others can't move past the way he spoke about himself, like he was recounting someone who used to occupy that body. Either way, whatever that officer was reaching out to never answered back. Late one night, a woman named Karina got an unexpected motion alert from a security camera she had installed in her living room. Since she was living by herself, her mind immediately jumped to the worst-case scenario, that someone had broken in. She pulled up the footage right away, and here's what she found.
So we're this weekend, it's the middle of the night, it's in her living room, I don't know what to think. So there's a shadow in the corner, and it just kind of glides off, but that's not the craziest part. Her TV is auto set to turn off, so nothing paranormal there. This is what's weird. Who was that? What was that? There's just someone there, just appears. There's nobody in this house that looks like that. And if someone broke in, you would have seen it. It's just, it appears and then it disappears. I don't know, you guys. I'm sufficiently spooked, so let me know what you think.
A dark, shadowy figure appears to be standing motionless near the corner of the room before slowly drifting out of frame. Shortly after the TV switches off, a second faint, ghostly shape becomes visible for just a moment before disappearing entirely. Karina's friend Mercy posted the clip online hoping someone could shed some light on exactly what or who they were looking at. In our next story, a woman named Dallas Clark, who resides somewhere in Wichita, Kansas, had Ring cameras installed throughout various rooms of her home. On one particular day, the footage caught her young son apparently deep in conversation with absolutely nobody. Pay close attention to what unfolds.
Man goes, man. We don't like you anywhere. But you are the abuse. I'm gonna beat you up. 'Cause if you don't be quiet now. Okay. Don't be quiet. Don't be quiet. Don't go.
The boy looks genuinely irritated by whatever presence he seems to be aware of, telling it to be quiet and leave him alone. Not long after that encounter, a series of other strange incidents began occurring around the house, and Dallas says her son continues to interact with this ghost to this day. Then, the very next morning, something happens in the kitchen that you have to see for yourself.
It's dinner time. Now go outside. I can't
The lady said she don't want peas.
Go outside. Why? I don't want broccoli.
Potato tots. I had this.
Dallas is convinced that whatever her son has been communicating with is very real, and that something has taken up residence inside her home. But as always, drop your thoughts in the comments and let me know what you think. On August 2nd, 2020, a girl named Kayla uploaded an old home video, one that she herself appears in. The footage was recorded years earlier, back when she was just 3 years old, yet it's never really left her, not because it brings back good memories, but because it genuinely unsettles her. Even now, she has no way to account for what was captured on that tape. In the recording, Kayla's aunt is filming little Kayla as she sits eating a bowl of soup. The two are chatting casually when, without warning, something pulls the young girl's focus elsewhere. What unfolds from that point on has haunted her family ever since.
There's an apple. Look, an apple. Don't come in here. Okay, stay in there. Stay in there in the living room. Don't come in here. Okay? I won't let you anymore. I'm just gonna get.
Who are you talking to?
I don't like that.
Who are you talking to?
I don't want to. No.
Huh?
I don't like that one.
Well, who? You don't like who? What, baby?
For no apparent reason, Kayla starts holding a conversation with someone who simply isn't in the room. She snaps her head to the side as though she can feel a presence, then warns whoever or whatever it is to keep its distance. What makes it most chilling, though, is that after repeatedly telling it to stay back, little Kayla starts to show genuine fear.
What, baby?
Whatever she was looking at had clearly terrified her to her core. Now, years later, Kayla sits down to record herself explaining what she remembers seeing. Needless to say, what she describes takes an already disturbing clip and makes it something far harder to shake.
Here's a story time because I know a lot of people were asking. So basically, we were just eating potato soup and I guess I saw something or someone on the stairs and I was like, don't you come in here. And they just kept getting closer to me and you could see that I'm looking that way. And I'm just like, you know, because it's coming at me and I'm like, get away. And I guess it wasn't a good ghost because I've seen other ghosts and I don't know if she has them on video.
Whatever had appeared to her on those stairs apparently wasn't willing to leave her alone. It kept coming back. She admits her memory of that day is hazy at best, which makes sense given she was barely 3 at the time. But her aunt remembers it vividly, and not just this instance. There were other occasions where young Kayla could be found chatting away with someone no one else could see. On one of those occasions, Kayla told her aunt that while she was upstairs playing with her Barbies, an old man had approached and started talking to her. Sadly, Kayla has no memory of that incident, or any of the others. Whether what she encountered was a ghost, or something else entirely, nobody has ever been able to say. A group of musicians got the shock of their lives when their camera captured something they never expected. This footage goes back to 2009 and was recorded at a university somewhere in Mexico. In the clip, a bunch of young people are jamming together at a farewell gathering. It was meant to be their final performance in that particular venue. For a while, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. Then everything changed. A pale, horrifying face materialized from behind the television set, seemingly watching the band perform. What makes it so unsettling is that the figure simply wasn't there moments earlier. It appeared out of thin air, with no warning whatsoever. To make things even creepier, the band members later pointed out that the gap between the television and the wall was far too tight for any person to squeeze into and conceal themselves. Not a single one of them noticed the figure while it was happening. Every one of them was left completely shaken once they reviewed the footage and saw what had been lurking behind them the whole time. They're convinced that whatever showed up on that recording was no ordinary person, and that it may have been a genuine apparition. So what's your take? Woman had just returned home and was trying to decompress after an exhausting day at work. Late that night, she began hearing a persistent knocking at her front door. Since she was alone and hadn't been expecting any visitors at that hour, she figured the safest move was to leave it unanswered. After a few minutes, the knocking eventually stopped and quiet settled back over the house. Convinced that whoever had been outside had moved on, she made her way to the door and opened it. What she found waiting on the other side, however, would turn out to be just the start of something truly horrifying.
So, I just sat down to watch a movie, and I'm pretty sure I just heard somebody knocking on my door. I'm definitely not hearing things. Strange. I don't see anybody. Oh, what's up? creepy at all. And I don't see anybody. I mean, I'm curious. But there's never anything good in a package on someone.
The moment she swings the door open, she spots a mysterious package sitting right there on her doorstep. She lingers outside for a few seconds, scanning her surroundings for any sign of another person, but the area is completely deserted. Despite the uneasy feeling gnawing at her, she decides to carry the object inside and see what it contains. When she finally tears it open, what she finds is as baffling as it is unexpected.
Date on the package that showed up at my house the other day. I opened it, and inside it was a creepy old video camera. I don't even know who still uses these anymore. And it was making this weird clicking noise, almost like it was trying to turn itself on. And guys, there's still battery life on this thing. I have no interest in knowing what's on it, and just the presence that I felt when I was holding it, it was creepy. Like, I'm not interested. If you guys know whose camera this is, or if this is a joke that somebody's playing and you want your camera back, please do so, because I put it back in the box and it's just sitting in my living room.
Inside the box was nothing but an old camcorder, no name, no note, and according to her, no footage recorded on the device whatsoever. It seemed like a completely purposeless object, one that raised far more questions than it answered. But that was the moment things started to take a genuinely disturbing turn. She began experiencing a persistent sense that someone else was present in her bedroom, as though she was no longer the only one in the house. The feeling grew so intense that she gathered a few belongings and chose to spend the night on the living room couch instead. When morning came, though, she noticed that several items had been shifted from their original positions, prompting her to pull up the security footage from the room where she'd slept. What that recording showed was enough to send a chill straight through her. After reviewing the video, she became firmly convinced that something had been in that room with her. While the movement near the doorway might have had a rational explanation, her sense of being observed only continued to intensify, and a recording she made shortly after seems to do nothing but fuel that fear.
I don't know why the lights are on, but I'm going inside of this house. I just heard my sister's voice, and I'm sick of this. And I need to figure out what's going on so I can put a stop to it.
She then began hearing her sister's voice calling her name from upstairs. From the very first second, something felt deeply off, given that her sister had walked out the door only minutes before. Despite being overwhelmed with dread, she forces herself to head upstairs and figure out what's going on. But as she draws closer, she witnesses something that stops her cold. A chair is suddenly hurled in her direction, and she immediately abandons any thought of investigating further, fleeing the area as fast as she possibly can. So the question now is this: by opening that door and bringing the package inside, did she unknowingly invite something else in along with it? Or is there a perfectly logical explanation hiding behind all of these events? Drop your theory in the comments, because this is absolutely one of those stories that leaves you with more questions than you started with. In this next clip, we're joining an unidentified individual as they explore what appears to be a long-abandoned school. I wasn't able to track down the exact location or figure out who's behind the camera. What we do know is that the whole thing takes place in daylight, and as our explorer circles the outside of the building, things feel pretty uneventful. That is, until they turn the camera toward one of the school's windows and capture something that's genuinely hard to shake. There in the darkness, a strange figure is clearly visible, seemingly staring out from inside the building. And the closer you look at whatever that thing is, the more unsettling it gets. Its entire form appears pitch black, its limbs look unnaturally elongated, and on what seems to be its face, there's something resembling a wide-open mouth lined with sharp, prominent teeth or fangs. What makes this even more disturbing is that the person holding the camera doesn't appear to notice any of it, just casually continuing on their way, while whatever that is stays lurking in the shadows. Now, dark spaces and abandoned buildings are notorious for turning random objects and shadows into terrifying shapes, so that's absolutely worth keeping in mind. But if something really was standing in that window, whether it turned out to be a person or something far less explainable, it seemed to have only one thing on its mind at that moment, keeping a close eye on whoever was heading toward that door. Strange ordeal started when a woman and her boyfriend settled into a new apartment together. For the first couple of days, nothing seemed out of the ordinary, but it wasn't long before unsettling things started to occur. The lights would flicker without any explanation, whispers seemed to drift in from nowhere in particular, and certain objects appeared to shift on their own. Then one evening, while her boyfriend was away at work, the woman was alarmed by a persistent, heavy knocking coming from inside the bedroom closet.
Los rompebolas se supone cada vez que llegamos a la sesión. Nadie entra en este placar. Ustedes 20 veces se los he mostrado, creo. No hay chance de que alguien entre. ¿Cómo les gusta?
But the disturbances were far from over. On a separate occasion, while she was alone in the kitchen preparing food, she picked up another suspicious sound from elsewhere in the apartment. Several metal utensils suddenly started rattling and clanging together, almost as though an unseen hand was shaking them. Every window in the place was shut tight, and there was absolutely no draft that could account for what was happening.
Leo del pan, pero se empezaron a escuchar ruidos en la parte del living. Y estoy sola. No hay nadie. Miren, literalmente no. Qué pesado, hermano. Qué ganas de romper las bolas que tiene. No, es muy...
A few nights after that, the couple came home together and stumbled upon something that stopped them cold.
Y en la pieza, la cual estaba apagada, está las luces LED prendidas. Y no sé si alcanzan a ver esa silueta, sombra, no sé qué carajo es. Pero hay alguien parado en la pieza. Y estamos literalmente nosotros dos acá. Estamos los dos acá, no hay chance de que alguien esté en la pieza, porque no hay nadie en la casa. No me parece casualidad que lo esté haciendo después de salir de la sesión. Igual la chica me dijo que esto podía pasar. Miren, para que vean que de verdad no hay nadie, subimos lo más rápido que pudimos y no hay nadie en la casa.
Looking up from outside the building, they spotted a dark figure standing behind the window of their own apartment. Convinced someone had broken in, they rushed upstairs to check. Yet when they reached the door, it was still locked exactly as they had left it, and the entire apartment was empty. Unsettled and desperate for answers, they eventually decided to set up security cameras throughout the unit. Remarkably, The very next night, the same shadowy figure showed up again, though this time it wasn't visible directly. It only revealed itself through the reflection in the glass. To rule out any issue with the camera's position or angle, they repositioned it multiple times, always pointing it toward reflective surfaces. Even with every adjustment made, the dark shape kept appearing in those reflections. What left people even more baffled was the fact that the apartment sat several floors up, making it virtually impossible for anyone to actually be standing on the other side of that window. No clear explanation has ever been put forward for what this couple recorded. Some say it was nothing more than a trick of light bouncing off the glass, while others are convinced the two may have documented something that was never meant to be seen. Tonight's case centers on Mo Sagi, a well-known YouTuber who built his following through urban exploration and paranormal investigation. His main channel sits at nearly 3 million subscribers and is filled with footage from abandoned buildings and allegedly haunted locations. These adventures frequently involve brushes with the unexplained, giving his content an edge of tension that keeps audiences coming back. In June 2022, he finds himself exploring a deserted resort in the middle of the night. The property is massive, run down, and completely empty. Mo had been to this place before and had already made peace with the idea that something strange might happen. His goal was to document the resort's decay and maybe catch something supernatural on camera.
Castle Resort. If you guys remember last winter, I came to this resort.
Some months prior, Mo had visited the abandoned Sandcastle Resort in Sosua, Dominican Republic, alongside his friend Ivan. The resort sat on a clifftop above the Atlantic Ocean and had been shuttered since 2003 following a prolonged ownership dispute. During that earlier daytime visit, viewers watching the footage back noticed something deeply unsettling in the background.
Look at this view behind me. How cool is this? This is not like the most epic thing ever. Big buildings, abandoned, just sitting here left to rot.
An object drops from one of the windows. Mo couldn't figure out what it was. Maybe a doll, maybe something else entirely, and so he came back on his own to get answers. The video opens with Mo carefully picking his way through the property. He mentions having crossed paths with a drug dealer here on a previous occasion, but intends to steer clear of that section of the resort. He locates the window the object fell from. As he draws closer, cats cry out somewhere in the dark. He notes that in his culture, cats appearing near abandoned places after nightfall can be a sign of supernatural presences.
Building here fell out of this window, so I'm gonna go upstairs, check it out and see if there's anything upstairs, something paranormal, something creepy. Let's go up inside and check it out. Man, I'm hearing some weird cat noises up in this place.
As Mo pushes further into the crumbling structure, threading his way through rubble and collapsed walls, something stops him cold. A voice is shouting somewhere in the darkness ahead.
Sandcastle Resort. Whoa, look at this, guys. Kind of got to be careful here because there are... What the fuck is that? Oh, what is that?
A figure steps out of the shadows. He's carrying a machete.
Oh, what the f... Hey, man, I don't mean any trouble, bro. He's got a machete. Hey, I don't mean any trouble, man. Oh, what the f... I need a rock or something. Yo, I don't mean any trouble, bro. Shh. Yo, there's a guy with a machete. There's a guy with...
The man launches into a chase, screaming and swinging the blade. Mo tears through the darkened buildings, frantically looking for a way out. The man keeps coming, showing no signs of stopping.
Machete. There's a guy. What is he saying? Okay. he's coming. Shit, I got a rock. Shit, I gotta hide somewhere. Fuck, guys.
Mo ducks into a room and goes completely still. He can make out the attacker's flashlight cutting through the dark. The man works through the building in a methodical sweep, getting closer with every pass. When Mo eventually finds himself with nowhere left to go, he tries talking the man down. It goes nowhere. The attacker keeps closing in.
Yo, man, I don't mean you any harm, bro. I'm just making a video. Oh, no. Please, yo, dude, why do you... Shit. Bro. Bro, I got a rock. Don't f with me, I got a rock. Shit. Guys, where the f I go? Shit, there's a guy with a f***ing machete coming. Oh my god.
The pursuit just doesn't let up. At one point, Mo even considers throwing himself from one rooftop to another. The terror is unmistakable. There's a man with a raised machete bearing down on him.
Oh, I might have to jump buildings. There's a guy with a f***ing machete coming after me. Oh my god. Oh, okay. I might be able to jump down through here. There's a guy with a machete. Where'd he come from? I'm gonna turn off my lights. I'm gonna walk in the darkness.
He kills his light, dropping himself into total blackness. His breathing is ragged and desperate. Okay, I'm being chased by someone in an abandoned resort. If I die today, there's a guy with a fucking machete. If I die today, I'm filming a video here. I'm not trying to hurt anyone. I gotta keep my lights off. He's coming. Oh man. The only way is down the building. Oh, I see a flashlight. Shit. Okay, I gotta stay completely still. I have a stick with a nail. You can hear the attacker somewhere in the building, still hunting, and then it happens. A flashlight beam drags across the walls just outside where Mo is hiding.
Bro, I don't mean any. Shit. Yo, dude, chill. Oh, what the fuck? Okay, I'm keeping my lights.
The man has found him. Mo is left with no option but to confront his pursuer head on. The attacker positions himself between Mo and the exit, machete lifted, screaming in Spanish. His behavior is wild and completely unpredictable.
Oh, shit! Yo! No, chill! Oh, he's on crack! Oh, my light! Oh, he's on crack! Yeah. Oh, what the f? Where do I go? Oh, no. Oh. Dude! Chill! Yo, chill, man! Oh. Bro, I'm just filming a video! Chill! Dude, chill, I'm just filming a video! Hey, calm down! What the f? Stop swinging that machete, man! Oh my god. What the f?
Mo squeezes through windows and leaps across gaps between structures. At one point, he seriously weighs up a jump between two buildings. A risky move even in daylight, let alone in near total darkness with only a fading flashlight. The camera lurches and shakes as he sprints, snatching brief images of the chase. The man's outline filling doorways, the machete catching the light, shadows thrown across the walls. Mo finds cover. The man tracks him down. Mo bolts again. This cycle goes on for close to 15 minutes. Every time Mo thinks he's shaken the guy, he reappears, screaming, swinging. Mo keeps trying to talk him down, to calm him, but nothing lands. The machete slams into walls with reckless force. Mo barely gets clear.
Yo, man. Yo, bro, chill. Chill. I'm not trying to hurt you, man. Man, what the hell's wrong with you?
The blade keeps crashing against the walls around him. Then something clicks for Mo. The way this man is moving, the wild, directionless swings, the screaming that makes no sense. The attacker is on something, and that makes him far more dangerous than a clear-headed threat.
I've established this guy's on crack. Some type of drug. He's swinging a machete recklessly. He's got no proper motor skills. He's just wild. But he will try to kill me with that machete. He swung at me. He almost got me too. And if he didn't have that machete, I'd be knocking this guy out right now. No joke. I would never run. Oh, he's coming. But because he's got a machete, I gotta be careful. Okay, this place, I gotta go. This is not good at all. Fuck. Dude, lay off the drugs. Bro, I'll hook you up with whatever you want. Dude, just drop the machete and fight me like a man if you want to fight. Drop the machete and fight me like a man. Bro, you ain't gonna cut shit off. Bro, this guy wants to cut my hair. I've established that this guy's taking some sort of substance. So that means I can outrun him. What?
Mo sees only one way out of this: get to his car. The problem is it's on the complete opposite end of the resort, and the man is standing directly in his path.
My car is all the way on the other side. Okay, I'm gonna go lights off. I'm going lights off. I have to run past him because my car is over there. I can't go through the jungle.
Mo cuts through one room, then another, staying off open ground wherever he can. At last, he reaches the vehicle, but the man is already there, planted right in front of it, blocking the only route out. He doesn't budge. Mo has no other move. He slams the accelerator to the floor. The car surges forward.
Oh, f this. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, okay. Where are my keys? Where are my keys? Shit. This place. Okay. Let's get out of here. Oh my god. Where is this guy? Hey! Dude, just chill! Stop! Please stop, man. I don't want to run you over. I'll run you over if I have to. This guy. I'm out of here. Oh, fuck.
The Sandcastle Resort still sits on those cliffs above Sosua in the Dominican Republic. The man with the machete was never identified. The resort remains standing, and someone is an anonymous French internet user recently uploaded a clip that sent shockwaves through the paranormal community. Where exactly the footage originated is still unknown, though it seems to have been recorded inside a derelict prison somewhere in France. It follows a young man, apparently on an urban exploration trip, as he makes his way down into the lower level, inadvertently catching something absolutely chilling on film.
Quelqu'un encore qui habite ici? Waouh, l'état de la cave. C'est quoi ça?
There, buried in the pitch black of the basement, a towering dark shape briefly emerges from behind a wall. A pair of piercing white eyes illuminate the shadows, locked silently onto the person behind the camera. He stops dead in his tracks, completely paralyzed, right before the figure suddenly charges in his direction. The footage cuts out on the sound of the young man screaming in terror, and after that, nothing. No context, no update, no answers. Nobody has been able to figure out what became of him after that moment. Was the whole thing fabricated? A genuinely dangerous run-in? or something far harder to explain. Here's hoping he managed to walk away from it. Most break-ins start with someone trying to stay invisible. This one started with a man proclaiming he was under the devil's control. Late at night in El Paso, a married couple were sound asleep in their home when the crash of breaking glass snapped them both awake. They rushed toward the kitchen and discovered their back door had been smashed apart, with a stranger forcing his way through the shattered opening. Police identified the intruder as 22-year-old Tristan Isaiah Billingsley. The couple's immediate reaction was straightforward. They told him to get out. Instead, Billingsley reportedly turned to them and announced that the devil had taken possession of him. Whether he genuinely believed that or was simply trying to terrorize the homeowners is something nobody can say for certain. What unfolded after that, though, left very little open to interpretation. When the husband moved to physically push the intruder back outside, things turned physical fast. Fists flew as the struggle carried both men into the backyard, the homeowner fighting to keep the suspect away from his family while waiting for help to show up. By that point, neighbors had already taken notice of the commotion, and law enforcement arrived at the scene in short order. Officers stepped in before the situation could get any worse and took Billingsley into custody on suspicion of residential burglary. The following clips were recorded by the same woman over what appears to be a string of increasingly unsettling days at her home, a place that on the surface looks completely ordinary, but where something seems to have made itself comfortable. It starts simply enough. She's outside in her backyard on an overcast autumn day, walking through the dry leaves, filming a dead tree that caught her eye, gnarled, full of dark holes, a little out of place among the others. She says she doesn't know what the metal bracket bolted to the trunk is for. She's curious, unbothered, almost cheerful, but as she crouches near the base of that tree, among the red leaves and the fallen branches, something catches her attention. Watch.
So I have a bunch of trees in my backyard, but there's this one that doesn't look like the other trees. So I'm gonna go check that one out because it has pretty red leaves or flowers next to it, and it's interesting. I'm wearing my work boots, so in case my dog runs off, I'm not chasing after her barefoot. So here's the tree. It's dead, but it's very pretty. And there's these weird things that are in it. I don't know what that's for. And it has crazy holes that I like. But here's the pretty red things. Flowers. No, they're leaves. Those are leaves. Oh. I like you. What is that?
She reaches down and lifts a clean white animal skull from the leaves. Empty eye sockets, prominent canines, not decomposing, just sitting there like it had been placed. A clean skull lying at the base of a dead tree isn't automatically sinister, and she doesn't treat it that way. But for viewers who've seen what comes next in her footage, many believe it fits a pattern. Some think it's nothing more than a fox or raccoon that passed nearby. Others think the placement, at the root of a dead tree, in a yard where so much else would soon go wrong, is too deliberate to dismiss entirely. That changed everything. Back inside the house, around the same period, she captures something harder to rationalize. The dog, Luna, is already alert, running down the hallway toward a set of closed double doors. Watch.
Luna, come on.
The sleigh bells hanging from the doorknobs are shaking violently and ringing loud and fast, with nothing visible touching them. No draft, no person, nothing in contact with the doors. Luna runs straight toward them, which is the detail that gets me. Dogs typically flee from things that startle them, not charge toward them, which some viewers interpret as Luna trying to confront whatever's on the other side. The bells stop almost the instant the front door opens. That abrupt silence is almost more unsettling than the ringing itself. A few days later, with a friend or family member visiting, things escalate inside the kitchen. The two women are talking casually, one of them chatting to a cat sitting on the counter, when something interrupts the whole room. Listen closely.
Chilling here, being a kitty cat.
Did you do that?
A loud bang with no visible source, and then a bundle of what looks like dry spaghetti launches upward from behind a dining chair and arcs across the room, sending the woman in purple scrambling backward and nearly out of frame. The cat flinches. The camera operator asks, "Did you do that?" And the woman says simply, "No." Short answer, no explanation. Skeptics argue a person hidden behind the chair could have thrown it, but the trajectory, up and outward, from floor level, is difficult to account for without being caught on camera. Poltergeist activity, according to those who study it, often follows this pattern: small, disruptive, physical. Objects moved or thrown, not by a ghost in the traditional sense, but by a kind of displaced energy, sometimes associated with periods of high stress or emotional tension in a household. Whatever the cause, the activity isn't slowing down. Caught on her Nest security camera at 11:23 a.m., the footage shows her lying on the couch in pink pajamas when the entire room is rattled. Watch. A sharp, loud bang from somewhere off camera, percussive, echoing, jolts her straight up, and she runs out of the room within seconds, disappearing through a background doorway. The camera shakes with the impact. There's no visible source, no falling object in frame, nothing displaced in the room itself. She doesn't come back on screen. What's compelling about this one is that it's a security camera. She didn't choose to film this moment. It was recorded automatically, which makes staging it considerably harder to argue. The same day or around it, Luna is standing on her hind legs at the window, visibly agitated, when the woman notices the bathroom faucet is running at full blast. She turns it off and walks back to the living room. Then it happens again. Watch.
She's flipping out.
Holy crap, Mom! What happened? Mom, really feel the purpose. I'll probably feel better.
Literally just turned back on as soon as I sat down.
I'll see the forest.
Oh my god. Luna.
She's barely sat down when the water turns back on by itself, audible from a different room, and she has to go shut it off a second time. Then the doorbell rings clearly, and when she checks the window and the porch, there's nobody there. Not across the street, not on the path, not near the mailbox. Luna is already at the door before she gets there. Some viewers think this cluster of events, the faucet, the bell, the dog's fixation on unseen things, points to an intelligent presence, one that's interacting with the house, rather than just haunting a specific room. Others suggest a plumbing fault for the faucet and a technical glitch for the doorbell, but the timing, back-to-back in the same clip, makes the mundane explanations feel strained. The last clip shifts the setting outdoors, at dusk, to a dirt path bordered by dark trees. Luna has already appeared in several of these clips, reacting before her owner does, and in this one, that pattern reaches its most extreme point. The woman is walking Luna on the leash through what looks like an open field at the edge of the tree line when Luna stops cold, locks her gaze on something ahead in the darkness, and refuses to move. Watch.
Luna. 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 What? Go home. Luna, go home. Come on. No, 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 no. Luna, come on. Stop.
After a long, still moment of staring into the dark, Luna bolts forward with enough force to pull the leash completely out of the woman's hand and runs into the field. The woman calls her back urgently. Luna, go home. No, no. But Luna stays out in the dark, circling at a distance, occasionally stopping to look back toward the tree line, as though tracking something. What dogs detect that cameras can't is the part of this footage that sits with you, whether it's a scent, a sound outside human range, or something else entirely. Luna's behavior across all of these clips, the bells, the window, the porch, the field, follows the same shape. She knows something is there before her owner does, and whatever it is, it doesn't seem to be going anywhere. The following video was recorded around 2:40 a.m. when a man wakes up alone in his dark bedroom and quickly notices something's wrong. The cupboard door across the room is open, and the light he always leaves on as a warning has gone out. He explains this quietly, in a hushed and clearly frightened voice, saying he covers that light while he sleeps so the glare doesn't hit his eyes, but he keeps it on specifically so he knows when what he calls the haunting hour has begun. Tonight, it's off, and that alone tells him something has already started. He keeps the camera trained on the dark doorway at the far end of the room, barely moving, barely breathing. Watch.
Where's the cupboard open? The lights are off. You see, I normally keep that light on because that's how I get to know the haunting has begun or not. And that's why I've actually covered the lights so that it doesn't glare on my eyes while I'm sleeping. The cupboard is open right now. I'm alone in the room. It's at the door. Stop it! Stop it, please! Go f yourself, Jerry. Go f yourself. Shit. I'm not gonna stay here.
What starts as an uneasy silence erupts into something far more aggressive. Loud, metallic banging striking the door repeatedly, then a door handle rattling with violent force. The kind of sound that doesn't leave much room for a rational explanation. He shouts at it to stop, pleads with it, and then for just a few seconds, it does. The silence that follows is almost worse than the noise, and then a child's voice comes out of the dark, soft, clear, and completely disembodied, saying, "Daddy?" He doesn't hesitate. He screams back at it, calling it Jerry by name, which means this isn't the first time something has spoken to him like this. A loud crash follows immediately, as if whatever is in there responded to being called out. He scrambles out of bed and runs down the hallway toward the front door, not stopping once. Many believe mimicry is one of the most disturbing tools a negative presence can use, borrowing a voice that bypasses logic and hits somewhere much deeper. So what exactly is Jerry, and why does it know what to say? Now in this next clip, a woman who works in an emergency room starts noticing something she can't explain during one of her overnight shifts. A vital signs monitor in an empty room keeps powering on by itself and displaying readings that, according to every rule of how that equipment works, simply shouldn't be possible. She'd already reset the monitor, turned it off, confirmed no patients were assigned to it. Watch.
So there's nobody in this room. The leads are against the wall. And that's what it's reading.
The monitor is showing a heart rate, 56 beats per minute at first, then slowly climbing, then dropping down into the 40s before the leads off alarm triggers. She pans the camera down to show you the leads hanging loose against the wall, not attached to anything. "There's nobody in this room," she says. "The leads are against the wall, and that's what it's reading." Some believe hospitals hold residual energy from patients who passed there, something that imprints on the equipment itself. Others aren't so sure. What exactly was that monitor picking up? The following video was recorded by a man who had recently moved into an old house built back in 1912, a property with enough history behind it to already make him uneasy before anything strange even started happening. According to him, the previous tenant had suddenly left without much explanation, and after settling in, he began experiencing odd disturbances throughout the house that pushed him into researching the property's past. During a late-night spirit box session, one word reportedly kept coming through over and over again: fire. After digging deeper, he discovered that the basement of the house had been the site of an accidental fire sometime around 1965, a detail that suddenly made the atmosphere in the home feel a lot heavier. Then one night, while standing in a lit room looking down a dark hallway, he caught this on camera. Watch.
My hand.
At the far end of the hallway, a guitar begins to sway on its own, slowly at first, before the movement starts growing stronger. Skeptics pointed toward possible drafts or airflow as the most logical explanation. But what unsettled viewers was how the motion seemed to build, almost like something unseen kept interacting with it. Paranormal theories surrounding old homes often connect fires to lingering energy, especially when the event was sudden or traumatic. Some believe places marked by tragedy can hold on to fragments of that moment for decades, replaying themselves through unexplained sounds, movement, or disturbances tied to certain parts of the house. And considering the repeated mention of fire During the spirit box session, many viewers think whatever is in that hallway may be connected to what happened in the basement all those years ago. Whatever started the movement, he never found the source. In this next clip, someone is walking through a property called the Green Manor, an old house with narrow winding staircases, dark reddish walls, a library with built-in shelves, and an upstairs room lined with antique dolls. And from the moment they point the camera at a teal wooden door in the hallway, something feels off. The door is slightly ajar, and the vintage oval doorknob on its brass backplate just sits there, still and quiet, the way doorknobs are supposed to. But then it starts to move. Watch. The knob jiggles, turns clockwise, and a sharp metallic click rings out as the latch fully disengages and the door swings open on its own. Nobody's on the other side. The person filming then pushes through, climbs the creaking staircase, and when they reach the top, they pan into a side room where a full church pew is lined end to end with at least a dozen porcelain dolls just sitting there, staring. Some people who've seen this footage think the doorknob moment is consistent with what's sometimes called a residual haunting, the idea that a location can essentially record repeated actions, like opening a door, and replay them without any conscious intent behind them. Others think something at the Green Manor is far more aware than that, pointing to the way the latch fully releases, a deliberate mechanical sequence, not just a rattle. Whether it's residual energy or something with intention, you be the judge. In this next clip, a family arrives at what looks like a spacious hotel suite. A large, well-lit room with high vaulted ceilings, a stone fireplace, a loft area, and a balcony with plenty of natural light coming through. Nothing about the space looks threatening, but the moment they reach the doorway of room 24, something happens that none of them were prepared for. Watch.
Come on, Mama.
Oh, she don't like this room. Wasn't expecting that. Dang, Big Mama. Is there something in here? We rebuke it, Kai Kai. We rebuke it. She said, Yeah. Yeah. There's shit on the toilet.
That's where you and Dad sleeping?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
There's nothing.
What?
Close it. I'll pull out bed. This is so nice.
You welcome. I hope y'all like it. I hope y'all got some energy because we're gonna be up all night.
She immediately starts screaming, no, crying loudly, and pulling away from the room, and she doesn't stop for the entire clip. What makes this so hard to dismiss is that the girl didn't calm down. There's a belief, fairly common in paranormal communities, that young children, especially toddlers, are far more sensitive to presence than adults because they haven't yet learned to rationalize away what they're feeling. You decide what that little girl was sensing at that doorway. Now in this next clip, a man is out in his shed during the day working on tools when he notices something that stops him cold. A sound coming from a dark attic space above a storage closet he says he's never once been up into. He grabs his phone and starts filming himself, panning the camera around the cluttered shed before pulling open a narrow closet door to show what's inside. Listen closely.
Me or not, I don't care, but listen to this. I'm out in the shed working on tools. Listen. Dude, I swear to God, there's something up in this attic, man. I'm not getting up in here and shit. Do you hear that? Dude, oh my God, bro. Oh my God, man. There's something in this neighborhood, dude. Oh my God. Dude, I don't know what to do in a situation like this. Do you hear this shit, man? This thing was built before I bought this house, man. I've never gone up here one time. What the fuck was that, man? There's stuff left from the previous owner. Oh my God, dude. Oh.
If you listen closely, you'll hear a baby crying, and it happens not once but multiple times, getting clearer and closer each time. The man's reactions are hard to fake. He slams the door, shouts, opens it again, keeps asking if you can hear it too. Then, when he finally works up the nerve to climb the ladder and hold the camera up into that dark space, the last sound he catches, right before the camera drops, is a clean, unmistakable cry of a baby coming from somewhere deep in that darkness. Some viewers think he has squatters in there, which, honestly, isn't impossible. Whatever was up there, he didn't stick around long enough to find out. So what do you think was making that sound? Now in this next clip, a paranormal investigator from Lakeshore Paranormal is in the basement of an old property at night, standing beneath a single bare bulb that cuts harsh shadows across the cinder block walls and exposed ceiling joists. He's got a spirit box scanning in one hand and what appears to be a detection device in the other, the constant static of the scanner cycling through frequencies filling the silence around him. He glances around the space, listening, waiting. Watch.
Not gonna leave until you give me a sign.
Movement back there. Shadow. Shadow like came out from the where the heater is and went back the other way. I got it on video. You can see it. It was short. It was just like a shadow that came out from there.
Are you down here?
A shadow moved from right to left. What immediately sparked debate online was the way the figure seemed to move with shape and direction, not like a flicker of light or camera distortion, but like something physically crossing. Some viewers argued it could simply be a reflection caused by someone walking past a nearby window, but according to the investigators, they were completely alone on the property that night, with no one else inside or outside the building during the investigation. So if no one else was on that property that night, then what exactly walked behind him? Now, in this next clip, someone is moving through a pitch-black house in the middle of the night, using nothing but a flashlight to cut through the darkness ahead of him. According to him, before he even started recording, he had already been hearing strange noises somewhere deeper inside the house, sounds unusual enough that he decided to grab his camera and trace where they were coming from. At first, he expected to find something simple, maybe a window left open, or an animal moving around inside the walls. But instead, he found this. Watch.
Right. Second date. It's been okay so far, but what? This is what I mean. Crazy shit. Is it like hello? Oh my. Oh shit. Phone's upstairs. Oh my. I clear. I'm leaving lights on. Look at this. I swear to right. Oh shit. Right. I need to go.
The lights suddenly begin flickering violently, throwing unstable flashes across the hallway, and just as he turns toward the staircase, something can be seen moving on the stairs, a dark shape shifting in the shadows before disappearing again. Some viewers believe the flickering lights could point toward electrical issues in an older property, but others focused entirely on the figure near the staircase, especially because in many old traditions, spirits or entities were said to linger near staircases because they symbolized movement between worlds, especially in darkened homes where visibility is limited and the human mind struggles to fully process shapes in shadow. So what do you think was waiting at the top of those stairs? The following video was recorded inside a home that's over 100 years old, using an old camera set up by a young man who was home alone and had noticed something he couldn't explain. Every time he left the room to vacuum, he'd come back and find the same bifold closet door standing wide open. No one else in the house, no obvious draft, nothing to account for it. So instead of just closing it again and moving on, he propped the camera on the floor, pointed it at the door, and went back to his vacuuming. The clip is silent, and that silence is part of what makes it so unsettling. Watch. The right panel of that bifold door begins to move, slowly, steadily, swinging open at a pace that feels almost deliberate, folding back until the closet is fully exposed. No one enters the frame. There's no rush of air, no person, no visible string or mechanism. If you watch the door's movement carefully, you'll notice it doesn't jerk or stutter the way a draft might cause. It moves with a kind of even, unhurried intention that's harder to dismiss. Some viewers familiar with residual haunting theory think older homes can develop patterns of repeated activity tied to whatever energy accumulated there over decades. But you be the judge. Now in this next clip, a man had been sitting alone at his kitchen table, reading from the Bible, not casually, but deliberately, the way someone does when they're trying to hold something back. He had a rosary laid out in front of him, a crucifix, and a small bottle of holy water. He says he picks up regularly from his local Catholic church. He mentions to the camera that he isn't feeling well, and before he starts reading, he anoints his forehead with the holy water and makes the sign of the cross. There's a weight to how he's going through these steps. Like a ritual, he's performed enough times that it's become routine rather than ceremonial. He settles in and begins reading aloud from Psalms 37, verses 3 through 11. Scripture about trust, about dwelling safely, about what faith is supposed to protect you from. But midway through the reading, something happened. Watch.
Inherit the earth. For yet a little while, and the wicked should be no more. Indeed, you will. Gosh! Holy. Bro. That just closed. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, any demon in my office, evacuate now. Look, that's my magic hat. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, and my attic is closed. See? Huh. And it literally dropped my hat. That is crazy. You see, guys, this is what I gotta go through daily. Like literally, daily I gotta go through this crap. I'm so fed up with it.
The door in the background slams shut with a sharp, violent bang. What's harder to dismiss is what he finds on the other side. A baseball cap lying face down on the floor just inside the doorway, which he claims was not there before. He picks it up, shows the camera the front, and says the entity dropped it. He calls his attic door out specifically, showing it secured with multiple slide locks, as if that detail is meant to explain something he doesn't want to say out loud. He ends the clip looking straight into the camera, exhausted, and says this is what he goes through daily. For those familiar with spiritual warfare theology, a violent physical reaction during scripture reading is considered significant. It's interpreted not as random haunting activity, but as direct interference, a presence responding to being named. So what was in that room with him? The following video was recorded at around 11 p.m. when a young man is alone inside a building and begins hearing something he can't explain. Loud, violent banging echoing from somewhere in the basement below him. According to him, this isn't the first time. It's already happened 3 times that night, and by now, whatever is making the noise has clearly gotten under his skin. Watch.
Bueno, ya son como las 11 de la noche y la tercera vez que estoy escuchando este ruido de mierda. No sé qué está pasando, pero lo quiero grabar ahora para que después me crea la gente, porque esto nunca me pasó y nada, lo quería grabar, qué sé yo, estoy podrido, la concha de la lora. Digo, mi linterna, no sé para qué quiera darle. Dios, puta que te parió, la puta que te parió. Concha de la lora, la concha de la lora. Pero como mierda puede ser que no haya nada hoy. Ya es la tercera vez que entro y no hay nada. Dios, me quiero ir. Quiero ir.
What you're hearing isn't subtle. Those are powerful metallic slams reverberating through a large, empty concrete space. The kind of sound that doesn't come from a building settling or pipes expanding. He moves through the basement with support pillars and wooden furniture, pushes into a narrow locker room area with benches and jackets on hooks, and finds absolutely nothing. No one, no movement. The banging had been relentless on his way down, growing louder and more rhythmic the closer he got. And then, the moment he's inside the room where it seemed to be coming from, it stops. He checks under the benches, pans the camera across every corner, and keeps repeating the same thing. This is the third time he's come down here and found nothing. He says he wants to leave. Some viewers think the sounds point towards something intelligent, something reacting to his presence. The way the banging intensifies as he descends and cuts out the second he arrives suggests awareness, not random noise. Skeptics argue an accomplice somewhere in the building could account for it, though no one else is ever seen or heard. But if you listen to how that sound carries through the space, it's hard to picture where exactly someone would be hiding. So where did it come from? In this next clip, Nicole is a teenage vlogger who's been documenting something she once thought was a gift, her ability to communicate with spirits, until that ability put her directly in the path of something far more dangerous. She'd been uploading footage of her paranormal experiences under the online alias Banshee 0094, barely anyone in her town even knowing she was still alive, when a cult found her through those videos, took her, and left her on the side of the road to die. Now she's back, trying to move on, when the activity starts again, this time inside her own bedroom. Watch.
Did you guys hear that? Is he anything? Shit! Right, no. I'm not doing this shit. Go back to bed. Go back to bed. Back to bed. Back to bed. Back to bed. You hear me? I'm not going outside. I am not going outside. I do not need this shit. Okay. I know. I am outside. I'm trying to be extra quiet. He's all shh. Okay.
I'll be quiet because I know I shouldn't go inside. I said I was going inside, but I have to go inside because like, what the fuck was I saying?
If you look closely, something appears to pass directly across the window outside her room. At first, it could easily be mistaken for a person walking past the house, a shadow, or even something created by the movement of the camera and the darkness outside. Then comes the scream. It's high-pitched, prolonged, and disturbingly human-sounding, which is exactly why viewers immediately began comparing it to a banshee. In Irish and Scottish folklore, a banshee is traditionally described as a supernatural female spirit whose terrifying cry is believed to warn that someone is about to die. The frightening part of the legend isn't necessarily that the banshee attacks anyone. It's the idea that hearing it scream is itself a warning. A sound that supposedly arrives before tragedy. And that's what makes this clip particularly unsettling. But the footage becomes even more disturbing. Watch.
What is that? What is that?
If it really is the same person or figure, there's an obvious explanation. Someone could simply have been outside the house. But if Nicole's account is accurate, and she genuinely believed she was alone, the sequence becomes much harder to shake. So the most frightening question isn't what was that scream. It's who or what was waiting outside her window. Now in this next clip, a man is sitting in front of his computer late at night, replaying security footage from his own driveway. And what he's trying to wrap his head around isn't a shadow or a figure in the dark, but something arguably stranger. The timestamp on the footage reads 10:09 p.m. on the 28th of April of 2024, and it shows an ordinary-looking man in a dark jacket walking down the driveway near a vintage black Volkswagen Beetle, stopping, gesturing, and appearing to give directions to someone just off camera, completely unremarkable on its own. Watch.
Güey, te juro por Dios, güey. Te lo juro por Dios que un señor me preguntó que dónde era la pinera.
No digas mamadas.
Te lo juro por Dios, güey. Un señor se me acercó y me preguntó, oiga, disculpe, ¿dónde es la pinera? Y por eso le explico, le digo que tenía que cruzar y darle más para abajo, güey, te lo juro. Te lo juro, güey, no mames.
Here's where it gets hard to explain. The man reviewing this footage insists, swearing on it repeatedly, visibly shaken, that man had approached him and asked him for directions to La Pinera. He gave him directions, that's it. Except the encounter was already on his security camera, and we can't see him talking to anyone. Some viewers immediately called it a glitch in the Matrix, that unsettling feeling that reality briefly repeated itself or crossed its own timeline. What do you think? Now in this next clip, someone is alone at night, filming inside what looks like an old cabin or shed, the kind of place that already feels wrong before the camera even settles on anything. The walls are dark, weathered logs, the paint on the door is peeling and stained, and the only light comes from the phone in their hand. The room is completely still, with nothing but darkness beyond the narrow beam of light, and then the camera catches something above the doorframe. Watch.
Bro, I just missed it moving again, bro. Literally. I'm not stopping recording until I get it moving on camera, bro. Look at that, bro. You see it? You see it? That bitch is moving, gang, by itself. I'm gonna try and get it one more time, yo. Bro, look at that shit, gang. Yeah, I probably gotta get rid of this little nigga for real. I got that shit on camera though, gang. I'm not tripping.
For nearly 3 minutes, the strange creature keeps hitting the door. Paranormal viewers would likely interpret the scene very differently, especially because the activity appears to be concentrated around a doorway. In paranormal folklore, doorways are often treated as symbolic thresholds between spaces, and unexplained activity around them is sometimes interpreted as something attempting to enter or make its presence known. Whether that's what is happening here is impossible to establish from the footage alone. But watching that door repeatedly take hits while the person filming stands there, unable to see what's on the other side, creates one terrifying thought. This next clip was recorded inside a man's living room in the middle of the day. Natural light coming through the window, blue sofa in the background, everything ordinary about the setting, except for one small black object sitting on the wood floor near his coffee table. He'd apparently missed it moving before the recording started, and he was determined not to miss it again. So he held the shot. Watch.
The fuck? Dude, just heard a huge fucking crash. Is anyone down there? Hello? Hey, who's fucking down there? Seriously, if you throw anything at me this time, I'm gonna f you up. Man? You're a fucking coward! What do you fucking want? Just shit! Hey, let me out! Let me out! Fuck! Let me out of here!
No foot, no string, no air vent, blowing directly underneath it. Skeptics think that's the most obvious explanation. Either the device's battery is still partially charged and activating on a timer, or someone off camera has a remote. But he insists there's no pet, no remote, nothing driving it. So what do you think it is?